Welcome, everyone. This is the new series of Leaders of Leaders. My name is Diana Daniels. I am YPO Greater Europe, and I am the CEO and founder of Kronos Group and ThinkerLink, working in labor and financial inclusion. And it is my pleasure to be hosting the Leaders of Leaders, a new series of podcasts brought to you by the YPO Leadership Development Network. And today I have amazing guests with us, and we will be talking about digital disruption. You know, many of you know already Stephen Forte, YPO Bay Area, who has led multinational business in the US and China. Stephen is a software architect, speaker, entrepreneur, and CEO with a special focus on commercializing new technologies, including AI, machine learning, and computer vision. His new startup is called The BuildClub, and this is kind of like an Instacart for building materials. The BuildClub is creating the building material industry first consolidated digital marketplace. And as you can guess, Stephen is an expert in mobile apps and software with 28 patents filed and 15 awarded. He has found and has meaningful exits from multiple tech startups, has been CEO of public and private companies, managed operations in 63 countries, and led P&Ls from startups to over $1 billion. Welcome, Stephen. How are you?
Diana, thank you. Very generous opening. And, you know, the funny comment I'll have to that, with all of that experience in mobile as we launch this new startup, all of our orders are coming from telephone and website, even though we have an amazing mobile app, which goes to show you the surprises in any startup. When you think you figured out what your customers want, they surprise you all the time.
And, you know, this actually comes perfect into what I want to talk about, because there's a lot what we have heard in the past year, and especially in this Zoom era, thanks to COVID, about digital transformation, where basically traditional business embark in a continued process of changes in their companies, while digital disruption, the aim is to have a radical change where that could be the possibility where traditional business processes and models might be even dissolved. So what do you think leaders need to know to use the technology to their advantage?
You know, it's really about leveraging tech. I think new startups can kind of do an end run where you're using technology to outmode an existing industry or existing company. But really making your operations more efficient and keeping you competitive, I think, is one of the key things it can bring to any company. I just happened to take a look at some of the software as a service we use as a tiny startup. And it's Slack for communication, Rippling for HR, Zello for instant communication, Upwork, Dropbox, 1Password, HubSpot, Zendesk, Zapier for integration of data, AWS, DocSend. I mean, I could keep going. And, you know, these aren't cheap, right? But they allow us to be extraordinarily nimble. They also allow us to punch way above our weight, so that we can handle things that only larger companies can do. For example, like HR onboarding with a couple clicks of a mouse and Rippling, I can onboard people, give them single sign-on, send them an offer letter, have everything signed, send out about 12 documents we need here in the United States for liability options, everything else. So I think leveraging that can be done by any company, even if you're an old brick and mortar style business.
So what, and in that case, then what do you think that the role of data can, you know, play in the way to help a company grow?
Well, you know, data, it's a very big motherhood statement. For every industry, it's going to be very, very different on how you access, how you manage. So I can give you an example of our company. So we're able to consolidate the data of many of our suppliers, from Home Depot to other kind of wholesale houses you might think in construction. We pull all of that data into a NoSQL database, which couldn't have been done years ago. You would have had to squish the data down into SQL, into flat tables, essentially, for those who are familiar with the technology. That therefore allowed us to use a really interesting engine in Neurologic for language translation. And we translated 777 million characters into 7 languages. So we are now the only platform where you can read all of the details and building materials in 7 languages, which is still surprising to me, especially with the ethnic diversity in America.
Wow, that is amazing. So if you think about this deeper, right, like for the YPOers and entrepreneurs that are watching us today and listening today as well, what do you think are the technologies and trends that they need to be aware today to have a sustainable business for tomorrow?
It's really, again, about leveraging technology to keep yourself nimble. So being able to obviously transfer everything to the cloud, most people have done that. But I think what they haven't done in the next step is integrating those technologies into workflows. Zapier actually is an interesting tool for that. So in the back end, this tool allows you to take data from one system, in this case, say Magento, which is the back end for my e-commerce, and feed that information both into my CRM, into Zendesk, into all these other systems that I use. This automation, once again, allows us to be far more nimble. So within that system, we can see a snapshot of an order within about a minute or two and allow us to execute on that order and serve customers better.
So basically, it's kind of like the world is the world of the APIs today, right? So we can integrate many of the established technologies. So it will be in our benefit to bring them up without having to just kind of like doing it from scratch again, right?
Yeah, and it's changing daily. I mean, we find that we have to re-educate ourselves every couple of months on what's being done. And I spend quite a bit of time asking people exactly that question in and out of YPO. What are your favorite tools? What digital tools are changing your life and making a difference? And even though I'm in technology and I do this quite a bit, I'm still surprised when I talk to people when I learn about new tools. So it's constant learning.
It's true. So I want to also talk about your role in angel investing in tech. Um, what are your objectives when you are thinking in investing in any of these startups? Because I mean, you are a very successful entrepreneur and CEO, as we know. So what will be kind of like the key points that you will think about investing as an angel investor in of these tech startups?
Well, I think it really has to do with where the startup is positioned in the market, where you're really looking to disrupt. I tend to stay away from winner take all markets, meaning that you don't see 14 WhatsApps on your phone, right? So there are a lot of really wonderful, well funded, great technology companies, frankly, who had better tech than WhatsApp, who just never made it. So I stay away from those markets. I like to focus on markets to where if the investment you make in that startup works, they could still be a niche or regional player. So your investment just doesn't go to zero as like a binary play.
Interesting. So, what would be like maybe three takeaways that we can give to startups that today are listening to you and think about, okay, what are the three things that I need to have in order to get an angel investor like Stephen?
Well, I think getting an angel investor, really, you have to have demonstrated that you have the right team to execute the problem. Because as many investors look at, if you're attacking a interesting problem, there are going to be many companies who are attacking it as well. So then the question comes down to, are you the best bet? Or is that investor interested in the space and want to find another place to go with? So I think that's one thing to think about. Second is really making sure that you don't have too much hubris, that you understand you're going to be surprised. And as our saying goes, you really get your teeth kicked in by your first customers, much like I did when I found out that my brilliant mobile app I spent a ton of time on really doesn't matter at this stage, at least in the Southern California market.
Beautiful. I was actually taking a note of that because that is super, super good advice. And another thing that I don't know, you obviously are aware you are now as the chair of the technology network. You and Chris Dimmer, which is also the chair of the Leader Development Network, you guys are partnering up into this amazing angel tech investment demo day. I can tell you that one of the opportunities that we saw when we did the A Plus Accelerator was to be kind of like, I actually currently am a mentor of two of the biggest startups that came out of those two cohorts. It's an amazing opportunity. I continue to mentor these startups, and it's great. What do you think about this mentorship program also that came out of the accelerator?
Well, I think it's fantastic. I think it's long overdue. I mean, kudos to Chris and Pat and yourself and others who put this together. It's really an amazing curriculum. I mean, this is no little event. I mean, that's the depth of that program really impressed me when I looked at it, and it's on par with anything I've seen. With the angel investing event, we're really trying to put together both YPO startups essentially and angel investors within YPO. So again, many of our members in YPO have recently had liquidity events, are looking to maybe get more active in early stage investing, but there are few resources on really how to become an effective investor. So we're bringing in a pool of very experienced investors from VCs like Tim Draper and Scott Cooper from A16Z to frankly people like us who've had very successful track records doing it individually. And on the flip side, we're creating this demo day where YPO related startups can come in and show their startups to YPOers around the world. So not only does that give them access to capital and show the investment, but it gives YPOers a chance and kind of a glimpse into where money and startups are going, and to see what industries are being disrupted. Because again, if you're running a fairly old industry and you see 10 startups that are going nipping at your heels, you may want to shift and think about how you're growing your own company.
Yeah, you definitely want to be there. I am already signed up, so for sure I'm going to be there. It's going to be an amazing event. I'm looking forward to see these new startups that are disrupting all these technologies, where many of the YPOers, I guess, that they will definitely need an opportunity to hopefully invest, be partner, right? There's a lot of opportunities there.
Could be partnerships, investment, could be any of the above.
So this is the time, I have to say, that in this podcast, we have the time that we call the rapid fire questions. So I'm going to make you 10 questions. And Steve, you need to answer the first thing that comes to your mind, hopefully in one single word. Yeah, you ready? Beautiful. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
You're one of mine. Morning or night?
Morning.
Time, love, or money?
All three.
Very good. What was your childhood career?
Selling golf balls when I was 7.
What? This is amazing. And what is the best career advice that you ever received?
I think it was probably from the founder of Sprint Nextel here in the United States. It's really focusing on relationships. Deals aren't between companies, they're between people. And the times I've remembered that have frankly saved my butt in a couple of near-death experiences on startups.
Beautiful. So the next one will be, wouldn't be now in the Bay Area, where would you live in the world?
I might be somewhere near you in Spain, actually. Really enjoy the country. The food is fantastic. The people are excellent. Weather is great. What's not to love?
Exactly. I'm waiting for you already. So what was the last book you read?
What was which? I'm sorry.
The last book that you have read, which one was it?
The last book I read was Scott Belsky's The Messy Middle. And I actually found it to be one of the best business books I've ever read.
Very good. I'm going to watch it out.
He's the founder of Behance and is now I think, VP of product for Adobe.
Got him. Super. So what are you afraid of, Steve?
Not much, really. I think fear doesn't really work much.
Good. And is there anything that keeps you awake at night?
I'm doing a startup. Everything keeps me awake at night. It's cash flow. It's customer traction. It's the marketing. It's the new guy I hired. You name it. I tell you, that's why I have to back off the espresso after 12 p.m.
I know. I feel you. So what makes you wake up?
Well, those things that I worry about. No, I really jump out of bed, eager to make that next traction that day and be able to check something off the list that really moves forward, but always focusing on sales.
Beautiful. Well, that's it. I truly want to thank you today, Steve. Thank you for sharing with us. Congratulations on this amazing demo day for the startups to come. I do believe it's an amazing opportunity for every YPO for them to come. They can, as you said, they can do investment, they can do partnering, they can just come and watch, and see what is coming, what are the new trends.
And we're doing it in a cool little virtual world where everyone's going to have an avatar. So you can wander around. It's not Zoom. You can wander around, bump into friends from around the world and have that serendipitous conversation we've lost now that we're all tied down behind our screens.
It's going to be amazing. Really, the YPO investment community, they have this exclusive opportunity to first lock in the startups that are thriving and building a better future. So you got to go there, right?
We're excited. Absolutely. And we'll see everybody there.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I know that this time passed super, super fast. Completely worth it. I want to invite you all to the next episode of Leaders of Leaders. My name again is Diana Daniels, and I will be happy to be with you once more. Thank you. Stay tuned and see you soon.